Coming up next, On the Spot, we've got robots, ninjas, and all kinds of free games. Justin Calvert's cleaning house with Chibi Robo, Brad Shoemaker's dealing up Metal Gear Acid 2, and Jason Ocampo's casting his giant fiery eye on the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2 beta. Then we're giving away 30 beta keys so you can try it. Yes, have some. We're live and on the spot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to On the Spot. I am Rich Gallup. How is everyone doing today? It's Thursday. It's 4 o'clock. We are live. Justin Calvert.
Hey, Rich.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank
Well, we haven't had you on the show in like forever.
you. Yeah, I'm scared of cameras.
Are you? It's cool. Well, welcome. I steal your soul.
Yeah.
Let's go to two soulless individuals right now and say hi. Ryan McDonald, Ryan Davis. How's it going, gentlemen?
Pretty good. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, hey, we got a great show today, huh?
We've got Ryans. We have so many Ryans, and we have games. So Ryans and games. It's a good combination.
All right,
we met
the Ryans. What are the games?
I don't know. We got Battle for Middle-earth 2. We've got Chibi Robo. We've got Metal Gear Acid 2. Yeah. We've got games. We're going to show them to you.
30 beta keys to give away for Battle for Middle-earth 2. So
that's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Should be a good show. Well, thanks, fellas.
Yeah.
Let's hop right into the first game, shall we, Justin Calvert? Justin, here. What are you here to play?
I'm here to play some Chibi Robo.
Oh, yeah?
GameCube, yeah.
That's cool. Well, Chibi Robo, it's a game. We know you're a little robot. You clean the house pretty much. Is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah. You play a small domestic robot. This family basically buys you as a present for their daughter, a birthday present, and and then you basically just go around the house cleaning up. And there's a bit more to it than that. Like as you play, you kind of find there's kind of a storyline. And
we have gameplay footage of like an army of potatoes or something, or eggs.
They're eggs, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the free rangers.
Nice.
They guard the kitchen. So to get past them, you have to hide underneath a coffee mug because you're very small.
We saw that in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. GameSpot Complete members, as always, use the form at the bottom of the page to send in your questions to Justin right now, or send it and Ryan will read them off to us about Chibi Robo. Also, jump in our new chat room. What's going on right now, Justin?
So right now I'm in the house at nighttime, which is when all of the toys come to life.
Okay. Kind of
so
like a certain movie.
Yeah, kind of like Toy Story, and this game is really reminiscent of Toy Story as well, just because you're really small and the living room and the kitchen or whatever are like these huge places for you to explore. This is Space Hunter Drake Redcrest.
That is a great name.
Yeah, he's one of the first toys that you meet in the game. I actually have a costume that I can wear that makes me look like him.
Oh, nice.
Which is obviously really pleasing, and it also serves a purpose in the game as well, which I won't kind of talk about.
That's fine. Now, obviously, you notice two things. You see a big plug dragging behind you, and you see this number counting down the lower right. I'm guessing the two are connected. Yeah,
so that's my battery on the right, and I'm a fair way into the game at this point, so my battery's got a much bigger capacity than it did at the start of the game. Yeah, I can just plug myself into a wall at any time and charge myself up.
Oh, that's cool.
So
now, who's this little guy?
That's a guy called Television, who's my manager.
Okay.
He teaches me. He talks you through the tutorial section and stuff. And if you mess up, he's the guy who kind of apologizes on your behalf and that kind of thing. You know what? That's happened to me like 4 or 5 times now, and I still don't know what it is. There you go.
That's happened 4
times. See, I wasn't lying. It's happened 4 times.
Your manager's on the ball.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you? All right, we get you running around in a little.
Okay, so I'm in the living room right now. I'm gonna go in the kitchen see if there's some mess there because the living room looks pretty tidy right now.
So seriously, what you clean? That's the
you
game.
Go around, you go around cleaning up, but then like you encounter toys and other like if I was here in the daytime, the family members would be kind of walking around and stuff because it's at nighttime. It's just the toys pretty much.
Now you say daytime and nighttime. Is that something you switch? Depends on what time you play the game, or is that just what part of the game you're in?
It alternates. Like you play maybe like 10 minutes at night, and then it automatically saves the game, and then you play 10 minutes during the day, and it just alternates.
What's going on here?
Those are the spy doors. SPYDORZ.
Okay. You can tell they're wicked because they have a Z in the name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just appear and try and kill you, and when you kill them, you retrieve scrap metal from them, and you can use that in the Chibi house to build other bots to help you.
And the Chibi house is where you started the game?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So now I'm using the father of the house's toothbrush to clean up stuff.
Now the family, I remember we saw the intro to the game at actually the Games and Music Experience. The family is kind of an odd one, right?
Yeah, they're kind of strange. There's like the 2 parents and a young daughter. The daughter thinks that she's a frog. She doesn't say much other than ribbit.
Okay.
And, the father who bought Chibi Robo as the birthday present, because the family doesn't have a lot of money, he's resigned to sleeping on the couch right now.
Okay.
So yeah, the family's kind of dysfunctional. And the story where I'm at right now kind of revolves around the fact that they used to have another domestic robot that was like 100 times bigger than this one. And it ran up such huge electricity bills, that's why they don't have any money. So the family isn't necessarily into Chibi Robo.
Got you. Ryan McDonald, you got some questions for us?
I do. I got a question from Link, a gentleman that goes by the name of Link Antilles. He's coming out of Greenville, South Carolina. He wants to know, is there a lot of stuff to interact with?
There's a lot of dirt to clean up and a lot of objects to pick up and put in the trash, but it's I don't know, it's pretty limited. It gets pretty repetitive, I would say, at least as far as I'm into the game at this point.
You're about to run out of power, dude.
I am. I got to find a socket real fast.
All right, keep going, Ryan.
Let's see here. I got a whole bunch of questions. There's another one here. This is from Kevin Wright out of Pickering, Ontario. His question is, are you able to sneak into the bedrooms and mess with the family while they're sleeping?
Actually, you know what? I haven't got upstairs yet. I'm right at the point of the game where I'm about to get to go upstairs. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the mum and the daughter are still sleeping up there, even if the dad's on the couch.
You got Mr. Mosquito style.
I got a question.
Yeah, I would think you probably can mess with them, so.
I got a question here from Michael Slinger, right out of Daly City, California. His question is, it like other communication games like Animal Crossing?
No, it doesn't really have much in common with Animal Crossing, to be honest. It's because there's a proper like storyline that you're playing through. Some of the tasks, I guess, feel like those in Animal Crossing, but there's definitely like a progression through this game.
What about the story? That was the second part of the question, actually.
Like I said, I haven't got that far into it right now, but yeah, right now, I found my way down into the basement, and that's where this huge, I think it's called like Mega Robo or something, and it's one that the family used to own, and now they've consigned him to the basement. And the thing I'm doing right now is trying to, I found his battery and a charger for it, and I'm trying to charge it up so that I can start him up again.
Cool.
Oh, and here's the Free Rangers.
And there they are.
They don't mess with me anymore.
We have some gameplay footage of the Free Rangers on our site as well as a preview, right?
Yeah, there's a preview that went up last week, I think, or early this week.
I think it was on Monday, I think.
Right.
When's the game coming out for GameCube?
I think it's out in just a few weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we look forward to more. Thank you for coming by,
Cool.
Justin.
No worries, man.
I appreciate it. Right now, we're going to kick it over to Ryan and Jason. What you got, fellas?
We got Battle for Middle Earth 2.
Yes, we do.
And you got it up and running right here, Jason.
Very good.
Why don't you tell us where you're at and what you're doing? This is the multiplayer one, right?
Yes, this is part of the multiplayer beta. We're just playing against one of our fellow editors here. I'm playing the Goblin side, so right now I'm kind of near the end of this big base building operation here. They've done a lot of big changes to Battle for Middle Earth 2. If you remember the original game, you really couldn't build a big base. I mean, you had all these like pre-placed building nodes that you could only build on. Here now, it's like more of a conventional RTS game. You can just keep on building outwards as long as you have room and such. So that way, and here we go. I just summoned the big Drake.
Nice.
This is gonna be fun. But they've really listened to a lot of the feedback they got from the original game, and so even though there's only about a year that separates the first game and the sequel, there's quite a bit of changes in this game.
Now, how do they represent what does the builder look like when you go to build? Do they have a little dude that runs out there, or do you actually just hit the button and it just makes it go?
Yeah, they actually have little builder units now. Let me click here. He finds them. He carries a cart around.
Oh, nice.
And the nice thing is, in most RTS games, you have a builder unit and he builds and then disappears. This guy just keeps on building. So you only need to build a couple of them and just keep them running around as busy. They have a new form of resource management too. You can build stuff like mines and such. One of the things is you can't build them too close together, or what happens is it's not as efficient. So you got to find open space, and that kind of forces you to not only spread out, but you have to defend all these very spread out resource points from the enemy, because that's going to be one of the places that they'll attack. You can build very elaborate defenses. Unfortunately, the goblins can't really build walls. That's not their thing. The dwarves do. But right now, this is the main fortress, and I can keep upgrading the fortress. Right now, I have bats. They kind of detect invisible units around the place. I can build spikes around the fortress, so anything that comes close. One of the nice things here is they still have some building nodes around the fortress. So let's say I want to build another tower here, and then here I'll build a spider hole expansion, so spiders will fly out whenever enemies come close. And you can really build up your fortress this way to make it really formidable. Okay, so let's get these guys.
So while you're grabbing these units, what are some of the newer, cooler units that we have in the game?
Well, the big deal with this one is that it focuses in on the entire northern part of the war that we never saw in the movies. So there's a lot of stuff that we didn't get to see if you watched all the movies. Like a lot of unique units, a lot of armies, the dwarves and the elves that, what's going on here? Dwarves and elves that, we didn't see the dwarven and elven armies. More orcs and goblins now, too. And, of course, dragons, which is something you really didn't get in the first game. And let's send this guy looking for trouble. And
I got a question here for why
Go ahead.
I got that going. Kevin Wright, again, he out of Ontario wants to ask, one of his main issues, and actually it was one of my issues with the first game, is that there was the unit limit. It was like you can only have so many units.
Yeah.
Are they approaching it the same way, or are they changed it at all?
There's a unit limit still, but they've kind of adapted it so you can keep building certain structures. That it's kind of like building houses in RTS games. So you can increase your unit limit, and obviously the more expensive units cost more. They fill it up more. But here's the opportunity. Oops. So yeah, you can build more units, and that's the good news. So you really get the sense a bit more now. This is a decent sized army. You can build a bigger one too if you'd like, but this should be enough to get the job done. You can upgrade these units as well. So these guys have not only the poisoned weapons and armor, they have the flag carrier and such. So they're really tough.
That's awesome.
Yep. And let me see. Yeah, my dragon is flying about, and I think let's get him blow some fire down on this guy.
So you were talking about some of the, you were talking about the dwarves and some of the other people showing up that we didn't see in the first game. Does that mean there's entire new armies to control?
There are entirely new factions. Some of the existing factions got melded together too. One of the cool things about the game is that it combines, in the War of the Wing campaign mode, you can actually play on the original maps and on the new maps. So you get the entire scope of Middle-earth. Oops, the dragon died. So let's just send these guys in.
Let's see some action.
Yeah, let's see some action. It's really fun. You see the trolls, they're the huge, they'll throw boulders and knock down walls, which the dwarves had. You have the light units, the spider units, melee, everything like that. So it's all about getting the right mix of tactics, of course. You can build mighty heroes, and they can really mess things up. If I ran into Gandalf or something, he might smash my guys down, so let's just attack the wall.
While you attack the wall, I got a question from Kevin Darnell, Calhoun, Georgia. How many units are there altogether in the beta? So I guess the question would be, how representative is the beta that we're going to give 30 keys away to later? How representative of the game is it?
It's not a lot of the game. The multiplayer beta has only 2 factions, 2 maps, so you're only getting just a taste of the game.
Gotcha.
But from what we've seen so far, it really has come a long way. I mean, it feels in many ways like a different game altogether from the original.
No kidding.
That's really impressive.
That is really good. Now you're tearing these guys apart right here. Any last words before? Actually, I have one question.
Yeah.
The units that they have that are new, are they just making those up, or are they stuff that was from the universe that they're just kind of applying the traits and abilities that we're used to in strategy games too? Or?
A lot of them are not quite. Some of them might be new. They're drawn from the mythology. They actually have the license to work with all of J.R. Tolkien's stuff now. So instead of just the movies, they can do all the other stuff like all the books.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of that was they had to do a lot of coordination though to make it look like the movies. So there was a lot of consultation about. So if you had to make this creature, what would it look like? And they came up with it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. So it's about as authentic as you can get.
Yeah, it's pretty much the entire war, War for Middle Earth that you wanted to experience, and they've got the entire scope of it now.
Right on. Excellent. So I think that does it for us over on this side. We're going to actually toss it over to Ryan Davis, who is standing by with Brad Shoemaker.
Yes, I am standing by with Brad Shoemaker, who is standing by with Metal Gear Acid 2.
Solid Snake.
How you doing, Brad?
In the house. I'm doing good.
So what are we looking at here? What version of this game are we looking at?
Metal Gear Acid 2, this is the Japanese retail import, so we bought it from Japan, had it flown in here.
That would explain the intense amounts of Japanese text that I'm seeing on this screen right now. Explain to the people what Metal Gear Acid is before we get into the sequel.
Well, the first Metal Gear Acid came out about a year ago with the PSP, and they basically took the Metal Gear milieu and shoehorned it into card battling gameplay.
So it's turn-based, it's strategy, it is not stealth action.
No. I'm resisting the urge to make a chocolate and peanut butter joke here, but it really does feel, it feels like it's this established universe that's been associated with a certain type of gameplay.
Right.
And they totally threw all that out the window and just made up, totally new rule sets. So, and it works. It's fun. And
Did we just lose?
No, I'm just.
Oh, okay, you're going into an issue.
So yeah.
I'm noticing, first thing I want to mention right off the bat from this is that the first one had very much the look and feel of Metal Gear Solid, but they're going for much more primary colors.
Yeah, the first one was really dingy and industrial looking, but yeah, this is kind of like a comic book. You can see it's really brightly colored.
I'm seeing a lot of Japanese text. Do you have any idea what's going on, Brad?
Dude is telling Solid Snake to infiltrate this place, and
Who's Dude? Any ideas?
The government always wants Solid Snake doing something, so I'm
This
sure
is actually, I want to ask this question right off the bat. John Muniz from Corpus Christi, Texas wants to know if he imports this game, will he be totally lost, or are the cards understandable to a point, having played the first one? Is this a game that if you don't read Japanese, can you import it and get away with it?
It would be a little tough. You'll see once I get into the mission, actually, that you can pretty much tell from the pictures on the cards kind of what they do. And a lot of the numerical values obviously are understandable, but
I'm going to be honest. I tried to play the first Metal Gear Acid and was just completely dumbfounded by it.
It's not for everybody.
That game was extremely dense.
It's got a pretty steep learning curve.
Because there is combination of this turn-based tactical, just a square at a time sort of movement on the strategy front, and then it incorporates this card battling stuff. Like that's how you actually execute maneuvers, and you can do special moves or whatever.
Well, one of the nice things I've done with this new one, aside from the visual upgrade, is they've streamlined the interface a lot.
Right. We're looking at the interface now.
So
Like, how is this better?
I'm jumping in. Well, like for one thing, if you select a move card now to move Snake, you actually just hit directions on the pad, and he moves in those directions.
Oh, okay. You don't have to line it out.
Yeah, you had to move a cursor around before and confirm all your moves. So you see, I can just reset my move and move in a different direction, pretty much however I want to.
Nice.
So I'm going to.
Well, let's race to some combat. I want to see you shooting or breaking dudes.
Here to check out an enemy.
Now it's not stealth combat per se, but it still does sort of like live by the stealth disciplines of Solid Snake.
Yeah, more or less.
So you are still wanting to come up on this dude from behind and jack him instead of just come up to his face.
He's checking out that wall there. He seems pretty enthralled with that. So. I'm going to move right up behind him.
Now, do you have a special move card that you can use to jack him with?
I'm going to hang right here, actually. I'm going to back up against this wall.
Oh, that's very tactical of you.
I hope I have a special move card. We're about to find out. See, he's gonna take his turn here, which is to just
hang out. He turned around.
Yep. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to move around him now.
I say just go for it.
Okay.
Just get up in his grill.
All right.
Solid Snake. Ain't no punk.
Apparently, see, as I was saying before, you can see what a lot of these cards do. Here's a Metal Gear Rex card. So
wait, you can just drop a Metal Gear?
I don't think it quite works that way, but
Metal Gear?
Metal Gear. All right, so I'm just going to walk right in front of this guy. It's not really going to behoove my mission to do that, but we're going to find out what the Rex card does. Oh, cannot use.
Oh.
As I was saying, obviously all the effects are described in Japanese.
So it's telling you like some sort of you have to have a certain scenario before you can use that card, and you're not in that position.
But I also have what looks like a Colonel Campbell card here, so that looks like a kind of a defensive effect. All right, let's try
crossbow.
This out. So one of the things you have to get used to is you're kind of at the mercy of the cards that you're dealt. So,
right.
Like I don't have any specific gun attack cards here, so I'm a little bit out of luck just in terms of my offensive options right now. But all right, let's try this Colonel Campbell card and see what happens. See, the last time I played this mission, I came through here and I had a rocket launcher card.
Let's see. That would seem much more useful than a Colonel.
Yeah, yeah.
Or unless it was a Colonel with a rocket launcher.
I was able to splatter this guy pretty quick. Okay, see, stepping out in front of him obviously didn't do much for my stealth. So it looks like looks like I may have a problem here. I'm on fire.
You just got set on fire. That's no good. Brad, I want to jump to this thing really quickly. Okay. This is like one of the weird new parts of Metal Gear Acid 2.
Yeah.
Is the solid eye peripheral.
Yeah, nobody seems to know where this came from.
It's a bizarre little black box that you actually slip over. Like, see this hole back here? That's where you put the PSP in, and then you actually look at it through this, and it splits the screen in half. Can you actually switch the game into solid eye view so that we can...
I don't know that I can do it on the fly, but...
But it basically splits the screen in half, is that right?
Like if you're looking at it on just a regular PSP, you'll see two screens side by side because it uses a stereoscopic effect. And it basically...
Right there, there you go.
It pulls off a really convincing 3D effect, actually. It looks...
And this is just a little cardboard thing that comes in the box. But this is nothing too fancy.
Yeah, but it looks way better than some cheesy like 50s drive-in red and blue glasses thing.
Now, obviously, the drawback of this is the fact that you are losing half your screen real estate.
Yeah.
Is that you're splitting it up by half?
You're not seeing quite as much, yeah, but. It's a cool effect.
It's definitely an interesting little novel thing. Do we know if they're going to be bringing this out in the States? Is that their intention?
I believe it is going to be packed in.
There's also like girly pics that you can look at.
Yeah, there's some Japanese girls in bikinis you can check out. They also have all the cinematics from Metal Gear Solid 3 are in there that you can find.
Oh, nice.
And the Metal Gear Solid 4 trailer from TGS.
That's a ton of cool stuff in there.
All in 3D. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the one question I have is basically, there was an event yesterday, right? A Konami event, and
yeah.
they explained some of this stuff, and we got some content up for that. It's like we have a developer interview for like Metal Gear Solid Acid 2.
Yeah, you can go on the site and read some new information. They actually announced yesterday that the U.S. version of this game is going to have some extra content. Like they're going to add, there's already like 500 cards in the game to collect, but they're going to add some Metal Gear Solid 4 cards. So there's going to have like the Solid Eye that you see in the Metal Gear Solid 4 trailer. There's going to be a card for that. There's going to be an Otacon card. They didn't say what the effects of those cards are going to be, but you know, that's just some extra stuff for American gamers to play with.
And then they say also that like the MGS4 trailer is actually in that, and I think the developer in the interview actually says I think he's the director on the game.
Yeah.
Says that he prefers watching the MGS4 trailer on the PSP in 3D as opposed to like high res.
You can understand that.
Very cool. So you can find all this on the site right now, but before you go and look at that, we're going to give away some Battlefield Middle-earth 2 keys. Ryan, Jason, what do you got for us?
We got 30 copies of Battlefield Middle-earth 2.
30, yeah.
30.
30.
And the best part is you don't even need to put your address in this one because it's digital delivery, baby, right?
Yeah.
So
it's all email, right?
So yeah, all we need is the correct answer and your name, and we'll get 30 out to the first people. So you got a question for us?
Yeah, it's not directly about the movies, but it's about the author, J.R.R. Tolkien. When he was writing in Oxford, he was part of a very famous writing group along with C.S. Lewis, the guy who wrote Chronicles of Narnia. Give us the name of the writing group. First 30 people, you get a key.
That's awesome. I almost,
That's a hard question. That is not cool.
That is messed
My name is
up.
Brad Shoemaker.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Oh, no, it's not.
Don't you love Metal Gear Solid?
That is a hard question.
the
That is
sad
a
thing,
tough
the
question.
sad thing was I was standing here, and like as he was saying it, I almost like just spit it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you
know
I
it?
almost just
You know
ruined
it?
the whole thing for everybody.
I had no idea.
30 GameSpot Complete members using the form you see below you. Give us your full name, your email address, and I'll probably send you the email. I have the keys, so that'll work. But
Before we continue, there's
yeah,
one
what
cool
you got?
thing I wanted to. We both wanted to show this off. There's this cool mouse that you're using. It's this the Fatality one with the little weights, right?
This is a Creative Fatality gaming mouse. You ever been playing a game and you think, the mouse, it just feels a bit too heavy, a bit too light, This mouse, you just pop out the weight in the middle of it, and it comes with 3 different weights. So you have 3.5 grams, 11 grams, and a whopping 26 grams.
whoa,
And you just
Heavier than
get
life.
the weight you want and just pop it in. It also has some other really cool features. It has variable speeds, so you can have 400, 800, or 1600. Basically.
What do those numbers mean?
yeah,
I'm getting there. All of a sudden-
600 watts.
yeah.
it's
600 kilojoules.
samples per
Fatalities, I
second.
think.
So the
Gigawatts.
higher the sampling rate, the more accurate the mouse is, but it's also a bit trickier to use. So the nice thing is it's also color coded. So the little LED up here just tells you if it's green, it's at the slowest. If it's at yellow, it's at the medium speed, and if it's at red, you better be a pretty good gaming expert.
So are you telling me this is going to improve my Counter-Strike game?
Well, I don't know if that can help.
I don't know if you can get
Yeah,
any better than you already
any
are.
better at that, Ryan McDonald.
Just rest assured, old age and treachery beat youth and speed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Check this out. This is the other thing. Like not just this. I have a Funk gaming pad. It's not metal or whatever form.
That looks like something out of
This is
WCW right
aluminum.
there.
Yeah, mine is the Funk gaming pads have come.
Oh, he
further.
takes a Funk gaming pad to the back of the head.
Someone's gonna hit Sting over the head with that mouse pad right there. Or the new Sting, or the Crow Sting, one of the Stings.
That was our fun little hardware segment for you.
We appreciate it. The hardware guys
Cool.
hooked us up with some cool stuff.
No, that's a cool looking mouse.
It is. While we're here, though, let's Ryan, you tell us know if you have any random questions coming in. But we should point out some other great content on the site. We do have all that stuff from the Konami.
Huge Konami Gamers Day yesterday.
I was going to say that word. I was going to say the Konami event.
The Konami press event
Yeah,
yesterday.
There's all kinds of stuff from there. All kinds of interviews. Also from earlier in the week, we have a whole bunch of direct feed and an interview for Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
Cool.
Which is nice.
You're right. Gamers Day totally sucks
It's
as
a
a
hard-
word, as
yeah.
a phrase.
It's just the
And
word
it's also
gamer.
totally like not descriptive because they don't let gamers in there. It's for press.
That and I don't just the word,
don't like the word gamers in the
word
first-
gamer.
in the first
we
place.
we spent like 10 minutes on a hotspot once talking about how much we hated that, and then we brought Carrie in the next week and she used the word like 15 times.
Yeah.
That's all right. Don't
That
use
happens.
the word gamer.
Oh, hey, and yeah, the hotspot.
Yeah.
Listen to the hotspot every Wednesday.
Basically, what
That's
I was
yesterday.
what I was saying is that you may have noticed the last couple weeks on the spot, we've kind of drifted away. Like normally we show you the Ghost Recon interview. We're going to start doing that again, but we're trying to push you towards the different components of the site. Like you want the real personal stuff, like us, like riffing, listen to the hotspot. You want some fun live demos, some good energy every Thursday. Ask us questions, join the chat room with us. Go to On the Spot, and then we'll point you towards all the great interviews, gameplay, movies, trailers, etc., previews, reviews.
It's like a hub for all the great GameSpot stuff.
Basically, we have so much stuff that we could be pulling into every show like this, but instead we want you to use your time wisely and go all over the site, take in everything at your own pace. We're here for you like that.
Drink it in.
That's what we do.
It is.
And that way we don't have to sit on these hot lights out.
Apparently, it's not that hard of a question. There's tons of people.
Are there
Really?
30 people got it?
Banging out.
It's like it's almost
good.
30 now.
All right, sweet. Any random questions for us to wrap the show up with?
There was a whole bunch of people trying to get me to tell Justin that some guy left Big Brother, but there's a whole bunch of that.
George left Big Brother. Yeah.
That's Jeff's fault. Jeff talked about the British version.
I've been
of Big
watching.
Brother.
I also have been watching the Celebrity Big Brother 4. It's terrible.
Is it on like
it's
BBC
terrible.
America or something?
No,
Or
it's out there.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not going to talk about that anymore.
You shouldn't. We're not here to talk about TV. We're here to talk about the internet and this site specifically.
Good point.
But cool, Ryan and Jason, thanks for coming by, everyone.
Yeah.
It was a good show. Ryan, we're going to have you back more. It's good to have you here.
It's
The
nice.
energy.
Yeah,
I missed it.
I miss being here. You know?
Someday we'll be able to tell you all the wonderful things that Ryan McDonald's been doing behind the scenes. Someday.
But not today.
But not today. Cool. Ryan Davis. I was going to call you Ryan McDonald. Great show.
Yeah.
Sweet. Brad and Justin, thanks for coming by as well, fellas. It was a good show, and the crew is always doing a wonderful job. And keep those questions coming. We'll see you in the chat room right after we go off the air. But until then, we'll catch you next week right here on The Spot. A little pro pause there. You like that?
That's good.